Prayers up, blessings up. My name is Jabz. You might know me for like helping people lose weight or agriculture. But the thing about it is I got a real goal to master real estate. And I haven't really been doing content about it just because I haven't really been hands-on. I've been renting my whole life. I've never even owned property, but it's something that I've always wanted to do. And recently I connected with, shout out Caleb Keys. I connected with him at Earn Your Leisure's event, the Invest Fest down there in Atlanta. And so we connected, and he has an accountability group. Shout out Andrew, Jordan, Sean. So it's me, Andrew, Jordan, Sean, and Caleb in this accountability group, and it's called the Property Brrrothas, and they're really making moves in real estate. And so every day we actually have a call that we do. We get on a Zoom call, and we have a format that we follow where we pick a big goal for the year. We pick quarterly goals that's going to bring us to our yearly goals, monthly goals that's going to bring us to our quarterly goals, weekly goals that's going to bring us to our monthly goals, and daily goals that's going to bring us to our monthly goals, quarterly goals, and yearly goals. So that's what we do every day in our accountability group. We go over what we're doing for that day, and we go over our goals, and we hold each other accountable for making it happen. And so much has happened in the last probably 3 months that I've been consistent with these brothers, and I'm so grateful for them. And so now they're all in real estate, and you know, I'm more on the social media side of things, and I'm in books, and you know, we got a website going, and so they're gonna help me through my process of mastering investing in real estate. And what I'm doing, I'm helping them with social media and understanding how to like use content, you know what I mean? So it's an exchange that's going on that's live. And so on this call, they actually started a podcast, and we did a round table. And I want y'all to just peep game, because I'm gonna start putting out content as I'm going through my journey to acquire my first investment property, and then every property after that. And I'm just gonna be showing this thing step by step, starting from someone who's never done it to getting to the point of mastery. Just like with agriculture, just like with weight loss, the same deal. And I wanna make it as easy as possible for anybody that gotta go for the same thing. So check this out, man.
And that is to bring knowledge to the table. You know, we're bringing this nurturing knowledge, and you can choose to drink from it or eat from it or what have you.
Intentionally overcomplicated. So I want to make it more simple for people to inspire people to get into the game, so we can start acquiring our land and take back our power. That's really what it's.
We the Property Brrrothas. The Property Brrrothas.
What's up, everybody? It's your boys, the Property Brrrothas. Man, I am your host, Jordan, and what's up, man? We are having a very, very special discussion today, y'all. This is a roundtable discussion with some of our colleagues, man, some of our friends that we are just going to bring to you, bring some value to you guys, and really just kick it off with how our legacy, how we are shaping our goals and tracking them, and what we like to call relentless pursuit, man. And so, man, I'm just so thankful. You know, we got Drew, my property brother here, and I'm going to let everybody else kind of go around the table and just introduce themselves. So, you know what? Let's start off with Sean. Go ahead and introduce yourself, brother.
Yeah, my name is Sean with Gabriel Property Management. We're a growth-minded company, and here we are. So we're ready to go.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you. Jabez.
Okay. Yeah, my name is Jabz. And, you know, I got a goal to help over 1 million people get down to their natural body size and stay there for life. I got a goal to bring over 1 million fruit trees to America. You can call me Jabez Mango Seeds. And I got a goal to help over 1 million people start growing food. And, man, you know, I'm a 3-time best-selling author. And I also got a goal to master acquiring properties. So here we are.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Mr. CEO, your turn.
Hey, everybody, it's your boy CEO Caleb Keys from Buy Back the Block, located in Indianapolis. Hey, what's going
Yes,
on?
sir. What's good?
What's up?
Man, hey, we are here live with the Property Brrrothas, and we are going to kick it off and give you guys some real estate game today. And hey, man, we are just so happy to be able to share our knowledge and resources, man. So let's give the people what they want.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And of course, you guys know my cousin and extraordinaire, Drew. Drew, let the people know real quick. Who are you?
What's up, man? I am the Drew, the for real deal. Y'all know who I is. Y'all know who I
Yeah.
is. Nah, listen, obviously I've got my advertising agency that is holding down the joint. That is my revenue generator for investing in real estate. I am a father, I am a brother, I'm a cousin, obviously, and a husband. So family first, that's always at the top of my pyramid, and everything else comes below that and helps to support that. So we'll get into it. Everybody knows who I am. I want to hear about these fellas though, man. Let's get into it, man.
Yes,
What
sir.
about you,
Yes, sir.
Jordan? Who are you?
Well,
Nobody know who you is.
so I am the good looking brother of the Property Brrrothas. Jordan, hey, I am a real
And
estate investor, but my day job, I am a school teacher as well, father, coach, husband. And man, I'm just out here doing my W-2 grind, trying to reach that financial freedom, man. And yeah, we're just so thankful, dude. So we're going to kind of get into it. And really, we just have a powerhouse panel. So
yeah, man.
what we want to do is we want everybody to just kind of take us back, right? Take us back the journey so far, what that looks like for you, and just kind of, let our audience know, how you are progressing forward and the value you are bringing in your space. So Sean, we'd like to kick
Hey,
it off with
so
you,
hold
my
on,
brother.
Jordan.
Yeah,
Jordan, let me just chime in here real quick. So,
go ahead.
the people might know, every day we meet for our legacy vision tracker, right? And it's important to surround yourselves with like-minded individuals so that you can strive together and hit your goals together and hold each other accountable. And so, I actually happened to meet Sean. Actually, we both met Sean out in Indianapolis at an event where we were learning about the Indianapolis market. And Sean just came off as just, dude, he seemed, for me, he seemed like an old soul in investing. And I was like, dude, this guy, he is powerful. He's an undercover dude. Like, you just don't know what he's bringing to the table. So I'm actually super excited to kind of peel back the layers about Sean and his journey and how he got to where he's
100%.
at today. So Sean, listen, man, you are the OG of the group. You actually came on board when this was in its infancy, when we were still trying to figure out what exactly we wanted to do. And he was like, you know what? I'm in. I'll do it. It's all good. He didn't know what he was getting himself into. So, Sean, tell us a little bit about like your journey. How did you come into the real estate game and your path in real estate?
Yeah. So, man, my journey, it's a long one. So it started man, almost what,
You
10,
got 5 minutes.
yeah, I was born in 1985. But no, it started, I want to say about 10, 12 years ago. So I'm an engineer by trade, but I was always uncomfortable about fully relying on just my job to sustain me. I never
Yeah.
100% trusted that situation, right? Because
Yeah.
my mindset was that, hey, they can fire me at any time. Okay, we got to
Anytime.
understand that about our jobs, right?
Yeah.
So what really introduced me to real estate was my first purchase was actually a duplex. Okay,
Okay.
it house hacking. I actually lived in one side and then I rented out the other side. That's a whole.
You know that it was called house hacking when you started?
Yes, yes,
Okay. So you
yes,
had already been kind of investigating real estate. Like, why?
yes. Well, I had an uncle that was a real estate investor. He was you
Okay.
had that rich uncle, right? So I had an uncle that was doing it. He was doing construction and stuff like that. So I was like, hey, what's up with that? I didn't want to be broke. Okay, I just knew that
Yeah.
I didn't want to be broke, and I knew real
Yep.
estate was a way to get there and not to put 100% my trust on a job. Okay,
Nice. So
so
you had some inside game. You had somebody who was already doing it. You had somebody who you were able to see the fruits of their labor, and you were like, dude, I want some of that.
yeah, 100%, 100%.
Got you.
Yeah,
Got you.
yeah. My job, they switch bosses all the time. So I switched
Yeah.
up. My bosses left before, then I got a new boss. This boss didn't like me for anything. Say, look, I'm gonna get rid of you. If he was trying everything to get rid of me, right?
That's horrible.
So my whole thing was about, hey, saving up money, buy one a rental a year, That's what I was gonna do. All right. But then he threatened to fire me. My wife was pregnant. I had a baby already. I had this house, I was like, how am I to support myself? So I'm like, okay, well, I heard about this house flipping. Let me flip a house. All right. I went, bought a house, uh, flipped it, right? Damn thing didn't sell. I'm sorry, can we cuss it?
You sure can. Yes.
Damn
Say
thing,
what's
Say
on
what's
your
on your
mind.
chest.
right? So I was like, okay. So I flipped it. It didn't sell the way I wanted. And then someone was trying to make an offer, but it was way below value. So I'm like, okay, well, you know what? Instead of me being in a rush, being so worried to sell this thing, I was like, well, how about I do this other thing? I put furniture inside of it, and while I'm trying to sell it, how about I put it on Airbnb?
Look
So
at you.
that's what I did there. And then I was actually renting out an Airbnb while I was sitting waiting to sell it. So
What year was this?
that was back in 2016.
Told you he was an OG, y'all. I told you he was an OG. Y'all didn't
Yes,
believe
sir.
me.
Yes,
Y'all did
sir.
not believe me. Nice.
Yeah, so I
Was
did.
Airbnb like a thing in 2016?
It was just it was
Just
it was
coming up. Huh?
yeah, it was coming up. So yeah,
Wow.
2016. I was like, I heard about it. Let me go ahead and try this thing out. So then I was able to keep the house for about 6 months or whatever, and then I sold it for higher than what I wanted. So I sold it for what I right, because think about it, it's a furnished place, right? So people saw it as it was like it was staged, right? And I was also making money while I was waiting, right?
Yeah.
So then from there, I was like, okay, well, Airbnb, let me see what else I can do. This is pretty good. So then I went to I started calling what do you call it, landlords. I was like, okay, well, I'm looking for landlords and see if they'll let me Airbnb inside their places. So I found a
Look
land,
at you.
and he was like, hey, you can,
Oh, what is the term for that arbitrage?
yep, yeah, rental
Okay.
arbitrage.
So like, how did you come across that arbitrage, what do you call that? Arbitrage technique, or what's it called? Strategy. There we go.
I
Thank
had
you.
I called a mobile library. Like I had an hour drive to work every day. So I was on my radio. I had CDs that I put inside of my
CDs.
CD, man,
Yeah,
bro.
you
Yeah,
are old school,
so
my brother.
CDs, bro. I played CDs riding to work every day. It was an hour there, an hour back, right?
Yeah.
Well,
Next thing
okay,
you're gonna say, you had a
that's
cassette player.
cool, right? And then my job gave me an iPhone, right? I don't like iPhone, but iPhone had great podcast on it, right?
Yeah.
Property
And
Brothers.
Property Brothers. Right? So I was listening
Hey,
to
Sean, your 5 minutes is up. Okay. So next, no, I'm just kidding.
I bet. But yeah, that's what happened. I'm gonna speed it up. But yeah, I did that. I did a rental arbitrage, whatever. And then I took a night shift, so I can actually learn more about real estate and spend more time with my family. So I was on night shift for like 2+ years. And then COVID happened, and then I actually left my job from that point.
So I understand your specialty is really mobile homes, right?
We got there yet.
I know. Come on. Why you keeping the good stuff to yourself?
Yeah. So that happened after after I quit my job, 2020. I was like, okay, well, everything shut down. Airbnb's not working, so let me try something else. Real estate really expensive, so then I was like, okay, well, let me figure out about this mobile homes I've been hearing about. So then I started doing mobile homes and going wholesaling those and selling and doing lease to owns and all that jazz.
Give us a little short bit on where you're at today. Tell us where are you at today? How's all that gotten to where you? I'm sorry.
Yeah, no. So I took all that. I got a whole history about rentals, but I took all that and I was like, well, you know what? There's not really a good property management company inside of Indianapolis. So, and I have my own share of property managers that really just tore my rentals up. So I was like, look, I can serve them better and I can have the right mindset, actually want to grow with my clients. So when my clients get more units and I can assist them in that and align our goals with that instead of us just trying to hold their money, trying to hold as much money as
Yeah.
possible,
Yeah.
hey, how about we make a program that guarantees the rent for, 6 to 8 months? How about that, we actually align our goals. They don't want high maintenance costs. How about we try to hit that goal with them?
Yeah.
So that's what Gabriel Property Management came from.
And you know what I love about your property management company is your background in engineering. You're a numbers dude. So you come back and you're like, all right, check this out. Here's where the growth is in this area. And here's what we're doing over here. Here's what's trending in this area. Here are some different things that we can do to help to prop your property up against everybody else. Dude, that's huge. That's absolutely huge. I really can't wait to, again, peel back the layers and learn a little bit more about your journey specifically, because that's going to be like a 2-3 hour long episode.
Yeah.
Because you've got a lot of value. You have a lot of value, and that's why we're so blessed to have you on the legacy for sure, man. But I want to make sure that we get some of these other brothers in here to tell their story. But dude, such an honor, man. Thank you so much, Sean.
It's dope, man. Yeah, thanks, Sean. Cool, man. Hey, so let's turn it over to Mr. CEO, Mr. Keys.
Hey,
Hey,
What's
can I
man.
tell
good,
you
Hey,
about?
brother?
Can I tell
What's
you? Can I
good?
tell
You
you about
buy
how?
back the block?
Hey, can I tell you how I met this dude?
hey, tell
Hold
him,
on,
tell
hold on, hold on, Drew. Let my brother CEO Keys do his thing. Let him introduce himself, and then you can jump in and steal the thunder.
him. Hey, it's
I'm
your
gonna shut
boy
up, man.
CEO Keys from Indianapolis, Indiana. Hey, my LLC is Buy Back the Block. I have created the one-stop shop with real estate. I own a licensed general contracting company as well as I am a realtor with FC Tucker, right? So, hey, I've been buying back my neighborhood since about 2019. I've had about 26 properties underneath my belt now. I'm currently just broke ground on my first actual new construction for myself. So it's gonna be a good ride, man. I've definitely have built up over these last 5 years to have every piece to the puzzle so I can make sure the entire transaction goes smoothly from the buying process to the contracting process and to the actual selling process of the house too. So I've been able to do that, been running around, buying up properties, flipping Burr strategy as well with the
Yes,
Property
sir.
Brothers. Hey, you
Yes,
hear
sir.
me? So did a little bit of that, done a little bit of seller finance deals too as well. Done a little bit of wholesaling. So I am very seasoned inside of the real estate game at the age of 29 years old, I will say.
It's
Humbly,
awesome.
humbly.
That's awesome, bro. That's awesome, man. So yeah, dude, like we got into the game with you. Drew met you at another real estate meetup, and I think that's what he kind of wanted to allude to back in over in Indianapolis. So Drew, go ahead. Just talk about how Caleb kind of got into our fold.
Absolutely, man. So, like I said, like you said, we were actually in Indianapolis at another conference, and we're sitting here listening to these experts on the stage, and I kept hearing there's this dude, very sharply dressed, sitting in the front row by himself, sitting there shooting questions out that only somebody who is probably like 80 years old would be asking. Somebody who's been in the game for a minute and like, well, what if you did this? And what if you did that? I'm like, who the hell is this dude? I gotta get in front of this guy, and it wasn't just one expert that he did it with. He did it with all of them. Every one of them, he was like, oh man, and what if you did this? And what if you did that? And I was like, dude, this guy is sharp. So I made sure that during the lunch break, I was going to get in front of this guy because I wanted to know, one, where you get your clothes from and who did your hair, right? And then two, how is he in this game? Like, how is it that, I could tell that he was a young dude. I'm 50 years old. I know I don't look it, but I am 50 years old. This dude, he looked like he was like, in his 20s, right? And I could just tell that he had some stuff going on. So I also felt like he would be a perfect guy to bring into our fold as part of the legacy pursuit, right? So yeah, so man, that's how we met. We hit it off right away. Tried to get him to a Pacers game, but he's like, I don't want to go see those losers.
Yeah,
But
right.
it's all good. It's all
That's
good,
funny.
man. Tell us a little bit about your story, man. Like, how did you decide that you wanted to buy back the block?
So So originally, man, it was just growing up in the neighborhood. I did have a past to myself where I was out in the streets, right? And then what I did was I said, man, there is so much turmoil that has happened to our neighborhoods. And what we do is a lot of times our grandparents have gone and bought property, right? And
Yeah.
so we don't realize the importance of why they did it and what was the reasoning behind it, right? So when we
1000%.
get to that next level and they're passing it down, we tend to just give it away or just, like, hey, we don't care about it. But what I
Yeah.
started to
Yeah.
realize is inside of our communities, they were coming to buy these neighborhoods, renovate them, and sell them off for, hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? But
Yeah.
they're giving our community the 20,000, the 30,000, the 50,000 for the houses. Hey,
Yeah.
this is in Indianapolis, you guys, not everywhere, disclaimer, right? But they are giving these small amounts for these houses. So I said,
Right.
well, what if I can teach my people how to stop this and create and keep that generational wealth cycling throughout, throughout the next, 50, 100 years? How do we get that, get the community inside of the mindset? So when I
That's the
came
kid.
back from China, that was my main mission and goal. I said, my mentors had always told me, said, hey, if you want to be wealthy, not rich, there's a difference. If you want to be
Right.
wealthy, you need to own real estate. And so
Boom.
I took that to heart. I came back and that's what I did on a day to day. I had to find a way to make income every day. So while I was doing the flip, so that's what caused me to become a realtor and a licensed general contractor as well. So man, that's a little bit about the reasoning of why I went back to buy my neighborhood and just to build it up, man, because we
Hey,
have to, that's what we're here
did you
for,
say
you
you
know?
got back from China?
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
was you doing in China?
So I lived in China. So when I went over there my sophomore year, I went to teach English. So I did an
Okay.
internship to teach English. And then my guy that sent me over there, he was like, hey, I know you're going to make something out of this opportunity. I know you want to go over there for business, but here's a free way to get you over there. I'm like, "Bet."
Nice.
So I
I
took
like
that
That's
free.
opportunity and that was it. I ended up making that opportunity. My home state ended up owning these things called hostels. So back when Sean was in that 2016 where Airbnb wasn't a thing, I had took these hostels and created them like 5 American style cities. So like San
perfect.
Francisco, Chicago, New York, Miami, uh, uh San Antonio, Texas. So these are highly Chinese areas that, the Chinese, when they come to America, where they go and where they go live at.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I designed the cities like that inside of the room. So you got the experience, even if you never could go to America, you got the experience what those cities were like, what the sports teams was, the news, the different places you should eat, and also the food. So
So
I ended
you
up
would
coming up with
are you saying that you designed those hostels in China to emulate those cities?
Yes. So I came up with the
Man,
concept and yep, he owned the hostels. So he owned the hostels and he was trying to figure out a way to increase, his flow into the hostels. While I'm sitting there, I'm like, well, I'm looking around, I'm observing, and I'm like, they love everything that's American. Like they will
yeah,
overpay for something that's American. So
1000%.
and then from me teaching English, I learned that they will pay even more when you're an American English. So, every other country speaks English, but they will pay you more if you are from America and speak American English to tutor their kid. So
That's
I'm
dope.
like, I took that concept into my head and I said, let's come up with an American style hostel that people will automatically come more because there are Americans that'll be there. So I get to go there to practice my English. That's how they look at it.
That's
Um,
awesome.
we end up doing that. I actually, so when around like 29, well, I went back in 2017. So I was there from 2017 to the beginning of 2019. And then once I got done with there, he ended up wanting to buy real estate in China. So you couldn't buy real estate in China. So he ended up buying real estate in China and ended up moving out and taking that money. So I said, hey, I'm gonna take my money and go back to the US and get the rolling on real estate myself. So that's exactly what I did.
That's dope, bro. That's dope, man. So basically, that was the moment where you pivoted and you were like, look, um, I'm going to help my community, right? I see what we're doing over in China, and I'm going to take this concept and I'm going to educate the Black community, educate, get them into that mindset to help my people generate that generational wealth, bro. And so,
Oh
man,
yeah.
that is just so dope, bro. And, really, really,
Can I ask
yes.
you a question?
What's up?
One other thing that I think that is key that Caleb said is it's not only about going out and acquiring more property,
Yeah.
it's about holding on to that property that we've been giving away to people,
That's
right?
it.
That's a key point. That is huge. That's beautiful.
Percent, dude. That's great, man. Yeah. That's gotta be, for us as investors, long term investors, buy and hold investors, that's the key. And, you alluded to it, Caleb, when you talked to your mentor, when he said you want to be wealthy, not rich, right? And so holding on to that, and bringing that mindset to our community to understand that, hey, this is a pathway where we can generate wealth, man. So kudos to you, bro. That's
Appreciate it.
awesome. That's awesome, man. Thank you for
And we have
sharing your
no,
journey.
no, hold on one second. You didn't even talk about your contracting business, man. Can you give us a quick little plug for that?
All right, so so when I first started out, I did my first flip. So I learned very quickly you need to hire the right contractors, right? So I hired my uncle, which he wasn't bad as the work. It was some of the people who he hired underneath him,
Yeah,
the
them
subcontractors.
subcontractors.
So I'm like, okay, well, how do I get into this and stop this from happening? How can I control this part of the transaction? So after my first flip, I was like, hey, I always wanted to learn how to do construction, right, with my hands. So I learned how to do a little bit of carpentry. But then I'm like, okay, well, I'm a businessman and I learned that contractors are terrible businessmen. So I'm like, okay, well, here's my niche. I'll be your businessman. I'll do the front office. I'll go get the jobs. I'll set up the paperwork. I'll do everything. And you come do the work. And you show up, you be on time, and we gonna run Chick-fil-A customer service. And we gonna beat everybody else just because of that. By showing up and having good customer service and being on time. As a contractor, that's unheard of. So I started
1000%.
out doing that, and I've been able to build a team over about 20 crews now that I run, residential and commercial. And so that's what I do now full time as a day-to-day operation. So we do it.
I told you this guy was a dynamo.
Yeah,
I
man.
told you.
Yeah, man.
And
Caleb,
you're an
dude.
inspiration, bro.
Yes,
You are
sir.
an I want to grow up to be like you.
Oh, man, I'm trying to get like y'all. We all got parts of each other we all need. That's why
Yes,
we doing
sir.
the legacy pursuit, because we all on the legacy. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
sir. Yeah, you
We
doing the
leaving
damn thing,
one.
bro. So cool, man. Appreciate you sharing your journey again, man. Buy back the block. So we are going to now turn it over. We're gonna kind of pivot a little bit over to Mr. Jabez Israel. Jabez, my brother, man, you are doing
My
so
brother.
much in
Oh
this
my
space,
gosh.
dude. Like,
Yeah.
dude, I don't even know where to begin, bro. Like I'm just so inspired. When we were off camera before we started recording, I was just telling you, when I look at your stuff, man, it's just so inspirational, and you are just kind of bringing value to the space for natural eating, clean eating, man. Dude, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna let you take over, man. Tell the people, who are you, Jabez?
So, man, first of all, I want to say it's an honor to be here and to be surrounded by brothers that's really intentional and have structure. You know what I mean? It's what I've been looking for, and it's a trip. Caleb is. I'm here because of CEO Keys. So me and my wife actually went to the Earn Your Leisure event where they did the Invest Fest in Atlanta. So I had slid up there for that, and it was a trip, man. But he was actually we was walking from the parking lot to go in, and he noticed me because I'm on social media. So let me rewind it. So but that's how I'm here. But so how everything started was as far as like the leverage and how, because I'm in this group more so because I want to learn real estate. What I've been able to get to the point of, I'm not at my best yet, but mastery of social media and content creation, that's what gives me my leverage as a person right now, because I've been able to acquire hundreds of thousands of followers across all the platforms, in total millions of accounts. And so my whole lane is weight loss, because I lost 100 pounds and I wrote a book called Life Matters, So Let's Eat Like It. And, we've sold over 50,000 copies of that book independently. And then we came out with our family cookbook. We hit #1 on Amazon in multiple categories for that book as well. And then I just recently dropped my newest book on agriculture. The more we grow, the more we'll see. Everything we need is free. You
There
feel
it
Oh
me?
is.
yeah.
Yes, sir.
Oh
Yes,
yeah.
sir.
That's
Beautiful.
that's kind of like the lanes of my content. Everything about me as a man is founded on morality, ethics. I believe greatly in the creator of all things. The most powerful book that I studied was the Bible.
Amen.
And so, to sum it all up, when it comes to content creation, it's about that. It's kind of like what Caleb said, like he just noticed in his community because he started out in the street. I have a similar backstory, and I've always kind of noticed the problems, and always kind of had a mind of curiosity. How do we solve these problems? And so one of the problems I noticed was we don't really understand real estate as a group. Also, another problem that I started to see, was we don't understand what we're doing to our bodies the way that we're eating. You know what I mean? Another problem that I was able to become aware of is we don't understand agriculture, and we're dependent on other people to supply food that obviously don't care about us, because they're putting all type of chemicals in the food, all type of processes, and we're just unaware of these things. So those are the problems. And so now I'm 42 years old, and I'm dedicating my life to mastering problem solving, because I feel like the world where most people run from problems, the ones who learn how to efficiently solve the problems hold all the power. And so
Wow.
that's why I feel like all of us kind of have that common denominator of solving problems. You know what I mean? And so that's what it is. And so it's funny, during the pandemic, before the pandemic hit, I was promoting clubs. You know what I mean? And I've always been a hustler, like in sales, but during the pandemic, I tried to figure out wholesaling. Was when I started watching Max Maxwell, and I started listening to Bigger Pockets podcast, and trying to figure it out. I was calling people. I was putting up signs around Miami. People was calling my phone. I was trying to get deals. I got a couple of small deals where I made $2,500 just connecting the seller and the buyer. Being a middle. And so I chose the name, and this is the last thing I say, and we could keep it moving. I chose the name Jabez Invest during the pandemic, when I made my mind up to start posting once a day. I was in the process of my life of trying to figure out what I was going to do next. I knew that there was people making money online. I seen people was making money in real estate, and it was like people that I linked up with that was making money in books. So I was trying to figure it out. In 2020, I was just in study mode, and everything I was learning, I was applying, trying to make things shake. And so, um, with real estate, I was trying to figure it out, but I was posting, and then I went viral about a post that I put up about flour, and I explained in the enrichment process and how it's a chemical, ultra processed food, and it leads to weight gain. And then I showed how you could get this flour that wasn't put through the process. And when I made this switch, I lost weight. I showed the picture when I was 100 pounds overweight, and it went viral on TikTok. I'm talking about crazy. Like, I got off the phone, and then I got back on the phone, and looked like 4 hours later, I had like 25,000 followers. And before that, I had like 200. I was like, what? My notifications was going like this on TikTok.
Yeah.
It was the craziest thing. And so that's when I was like, okay, I'm going all in. My book was almost finished about weight loss. And I'm like, I'm going all in on social media. So at that point, I shifted my focus from real estate and everything else I was trying to figure out to just social media and helping people lose weight. And that's when I got on that path. But I chose the name Jabez Invest because I wanted to pick a name that was powerful, and I want to master investing. So before it started, I chose the name Jabez Invest, thinking about real estate. I chose the name Jabez because I actually changed my name because of the prayer of Jabez. And Jabez made the prayer to bless me and enlarge my territory, keep my pain so I cause no pain to the people around me. And God granted Jabez what he prayed for. And so
That's
Jabez.
awesome.
where it all
Jabez.
That's
so now
deep.
I got my property brothers, and I'm
Yes,
ready to
sir.
go all the way in.
That's
Hey, so
awesome.
check this out. What if we all on this call commit to helping you get your first deal, your first bird deal,
Bull
I'm with
Burr.
it.
right?
Yeah, man. Like I say I believe in the creator of all things, and I feel like that's what this is.
Yeah, man, this collective mind to help you get your bird and walk you through that entire process. Because what I hear you saying is that you tried to dip your toes into it, you had some success, but
Mhm.
it wasn't enough to capture your full interest, and you got directed in other areas that have blessed you tremendously. But what
Man,
if we take our collective minds and help you get your first bird?
I would love that, man. Let's make it happen and
I
document
think
this
we
journey.
can, man. I
I
know
think we
we
can too.
are. We
Yeah.
are going to. It
Yeah,
ain't we
Yes,
can,
we
we
will.
are. We will.
that's part of the legacy. That's
Yes,
I
part of
love
the
it.
legacy.
that's awesome.
I love it.
Cool,
Yeah.
man.
Man.
So listen, Jabez, man, this is a great story, bro. So what I want to do now is I just kind of want to just shift it really quick, take it back to everybody, and I want to talk about, just personally, professionally, if you could just tell our listeners, our audience, what are your current goals, right, that you're working on? Because as we stated at the beginning of the show, right, we're all part of this legacy group, right? We know what our goals are. So if you could just kind of tell us what is your current goals, we can go slightly deeper and talk about the legacy that you want to work, that you want to leave. And man, just real quick, legacy, that's just such a powerful word, right? And, we all understand that, but, it's more than just the title, right? It's kind of transformative. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, Sean, we'll start it off back with you, my brother. What are your current goals, both professionally, personally, and then just tell us, really quick, what kind of legacy are you looking to leave, so people know about Sean Elliott?
Yeah, yeah. So my current goal is to help 50 new clients reach their goal as far as in real estate, and as far as legacy, that's the whole. That's one of the reasons why Gabriel Property Management exists, because if you continuously, there was a saying that when you're continuously flipping properties, that you're hustling, but when you start renting properties, now you have a business. That's a business,
That's
right?
that wealth.
Yes. So you have to have a business. You have to have something that will continue after you, that has systems, processes in place. So Gabriel Property Management is going to be my legacy.
That's awesome. And a shout out to Gabriel Property Management. Gabriel Property Manager is my current property manager for one of our properties out in Indianapolis. So Sean is doing his thing, man. We don't just talk about, this, we do this, right? So we are actively working with one another. So thank you, Sean. All right, Mr. Keys, what do you currently have goals on, and what's your legacy, my brother?
Man, my goal is to make the real estate operation to a $2 million one-stop shop, from having the whole. So if a investor comes to Indiana, I want to be the go-to guy, from finding you the deal to making sure we get the property done to you, to, hey, Gabriel running the property management. You heard me? So just having that one-stop shop system that can be able to run it up to 2 mil. And then, man, I got and I want to I've been trying to acquire 2 flips a month and have those in rotation. So if I can do that, it's been good. March was a little bit slow. I have not been able to find me a deal this month, but I got 7 more days to find a deal. So definitely have to
Yes,
do it.
sir.
Definitely got to
Month
do
isn't
it.
over. And then just kind of as a long term, legacy vision.
Long-term legacy vision. I want to have I'm saying at least I want to own 2 40+ apartments. I am going to own 2 40+ apartment units. And then I am going to own at least over 100 doors, a minimum.
Boom.
That's a no-brainer.
That's awesome,
Love it.
man. I love it.
Love it.
I love it. Jabez, your turn, my brother.
Yeah, so I love how we get together and we do our daily accountability calls. And my goal in the call is a little bit different, because I'm not in the real estate game yet, but I will be. Matter of fact, I am starting right now. Matter of fact,
Hey,
let me
you
take that
heard
back.
me?
I'm in the game.
We,
I'm in
Boom.
the
we already
game. Let
I'm
me
in
said
the
take
it.
that back.
game.
But
Let's go.
so my goal for my business is to generate over $1.5 million this year. And that's in our new Go Natural Light business and book sales, reprogram sales, community money, and all that. So that's my business goal for this year, and also to have a six-figure diversified portfolio focusing on real estate. So that's my short-term goal. My overall legacy play is I feel like I'm on my path. I know what I'm supposed to do with my life, and this is a recent development. I'm 42 years old, but I'm aware that the reason why so much of this country is overweight because I obsess over this problem. I feel like the core issue of the problem is a lack of awareness of how to acquire land. So a lack of awareness in real estate for us as a people, and also a lack of awareness of agriculture
Yeah.
for us people. Because we are depending on other people to supply us our land and that we're renting from, and other people to supply us our food that we're consuming. We're in a position that we're in. And so I believe in leading by example. And so that's why I do what I do to help people lose weight and get more conscientious of food consumption and agriculture. But I also know that a big issue is the real estate part of things. And I've been blessed with the gift of communication. And so I want to first lead by example of going through the process of mastering real estate on as highest level as I can. I don't want to put a number on it because I don't even know yet, but I just want to go through the process with my brothers right here and step by step keep getting better every day, and then document that journey and master communicating it in a way that's as simple as possible to understand. Cause I feel like that's the thing. A lot of when it comes to these games in America, it's like intentionally overcomplicated. And so I want to make it more simple and people to inspire people to get into the game, and so we can start acquiring our land and take back our power. That's really what it's about for me.
Oh man, that's so well said, man. My people perish for, lack of knowledge. You know what I
Bingo.
mean? And providing that knowledge for our community is really why Drew and I wanted to get into this space as well. So thank you, gentlemen, for sharing that. So Drew, I'm gonna turn it over to you, my brother. You've been quiet. It's your turn,
Hey,
man. What's your
yeah, where
goals,
you been
Drew?
at, Drew?
Yeah, he over there thinking. I love it.
So, what's beautiful is that there's a common theme between each and every one of us, and that is to bring knowledge to the table. We're bringing this nurturing knowledge, and you can choose to drink from it or eat from it or what have you, but you are empowered. You just have to make that decision. And that's what this group is all about. This legacy group is about being empowered, understanding the journey. And, one thing that you keep hearing Caleb state is something of about manifestation. So not saying I'm going to, but already picturing yourself there, right? So we're talking about not only legacy for our family, but we're talking about legacy for our people. Our people. So not just even on our family. If you're listening to this, we're talking about your legacy too, right? We're talking about giving you the tool set to create what it is that you want, right? So that's huge for me. So for me, my legacy is for my family to be better than where I am today, right? And generations beyond me to be better than where we are today, right? I don't want them to have to worry for anything, right? So that's my legacy. So my goals right now is really about making sure that I establish that foundation so that not only I can build upon it, but my children can build upon it, their children can build upon it. And it is not something that's going to crumble. We're putting those footers in. I think Caleb can talk about the foundation process.
Oh
You,
yeah.
you you dig the ground, you put the footers in, you put some bricks around, you put some straw in there. No, I don't think so. Anyways, but my point is that we're trying to establish that legacy, and that's it. It's just the journey, and I'm just happy to be on this journey with my brothers here. It's truly incredible to sit there and listen to your evolution and where you guys came from, and what's inspiring you and what keeps inspiring you. I'm super excited to be on this journey, and it's so nice to see that common thread between, even though we're all on our different paths, it's a common thread that is just like that motivation. I'm like, dude, it gives me chills. It gives me chills. How about you, Jordan? What about you? Tell us about your legacy? Why are you doing it? What's the game for? What's the game about for you?
Yeah, man. So, very similar to kind of what Drew said. It starts with my family, right? It starts with my faith in God. I want to serve God by serving others, right? And I believe that, me making that pivot in real estate, that was a game changer. We talked about it in episode 1. That was a game changer for me and my family. But now I understand that this can also be a game changer for others as well. This can be a space where I can provide value in my community, for my friends, for people that that I care about, but also for the general public at large. And then just to kind of grow in that space. And financial freedom has always been a big thing for me, because I come from a family of hardworking individuals, and Caleb talked about this, right? Where you see your family working day in, day out, right? But what do they have to
Yep.
show for it? you know
Yes. Preach.
and I would love to be job optional, right? I'm a school teacher, right? I love teaching, don't get me wrong.
And you're very good at it.
Well, let you tell it. I teach a boring subject.
Dude,
You just
it
didn't
is
like
boring.
history, dude.
I didn't
'Cause
like
you didn't
history.
have me
Here's
as a
the deal.
teacher.
This is why I know you're a good teacher, because you teach the most boringest subject, and your kids still love you.
Yeah.
I love it, dude. It's amazing.
He's got
And
so
that's
much
that.
animosity towards history. I don't get it.
Yeah, I love
We
history.
making
I don't know
history
what.
right now, my brother.
We
So
are.
so
We are.
anyways, just to kind of wrap it up with that, man. That's where we at, man. That's the Property Brothers, man. So listen,
Dude,
gentlemen, this has been
amazing.
it's been an incredible conversation, man. And we just thank the audience for bearing with us, man. This is the first time we've had this roundtable. It won't be the
It
last.
won't be the last. It
Yeah.
won't be the
The
last.
circle of CEOs, you heard me?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir. So thank you all for your honesty, your insight, the inspiration. Hey, where can the people find you real quick? Do a shameless plug. Jabez, where can the people find you on the socials?
Yeah, across all platforms, it's Jabez at Jabez_invest. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Email is best if you're trying to really get to me. Jabez at gonaturalite.com.
Yeah. Mr. Keys, Mr. CEO, where can they find you?
Hey, you can find CEO Keys on Instagram. On Facebook, you can find me as Caleb Keys or Buy Back the Block or United Nations General Contracting. And then, hey, you can find me anywhere. I might be pulling up on a city near you. Hey, you never know.
Boom, buy back the block. Hey, Sean, where can the people find you?
Yeah, people can find me at GabrielPropertyManagementIndy.com. I repeat, GabrielPropertyManagementIndy.com. Or you can find me on Instagram at The Escape Plan on Instagram.
Perfect.
There you go.
Perfect. Hey, Drew. Where can the people find you, Drew?
Hey, we could be found, right? So the fruition he drew on Insta, the Property Brothers on Insta,
That's right.
and dude, just Google me. You'll find me.
Yeah. Hey, we also dancing on TikTok, y'all. So hey, we on there, man. So hey,
Yes.
ladies and gentlemen, hey, thanks again for joining us, man.
Jordan, where you can be found, though? Where can you be
Hey,
found?
we can be
You heard it?
found. You know where we could be found. Hey,
We
at
could be
the
found.
Property Brrrothas, man. We're gonna put all the handles there, ladies and gentlemen. We all there. But hey, listen, if this episode, sparks something in you, hey, like, subscribe, leave us a comment, go follow
Please,
Sean,
ask
go
some
follow
questions.
Jabez, go follow Drew, go follow the Property Brothers, go follow CEO Keys, man. And we're just so blessed. We thank you. For Drew, I'm Jordan, and we are the Property Brothers. Until next time, everybody, be safe, y'all. Peace.
What's up, man?
That was hard.
Yo,
The Property Brrrothas was produced and edited by the hosts. All rights are reserved by the Property Brrrothas LLC, and the hosts are operating exclusively on behalf of the Property Brrrothas LLC. Please consult appropriate tax, legal, real estate, financial, or business advice. Nothing on this show should be considered professional advice. We appreciate you all for following our journey. It would mean the world to us if you could like, subscribe, and leave a review wherever you listen to podcasts. God bless.